Hello, today we're answering the question, what is 2E? You might have heard this phrase. We're going to explain to you today what that means. 2E stands for twice exceptional and is referring to a dual diagnosis. So when a person has a dual diagnosis, it means that they've been diagnosed with two separate conditions. Usually in the education setting, 2E stands for somebody who has been identified with high intelligence, which is also referred to as being gifted. So a person with high intelligence and a co-occurring learning difficulty is known as a twice exceptional learner, or 2E for short. The important thing to know about twice exceptional learners is that it's common, and that being gifted doesn't preclude the possibility of having a learning disability, and vice versa. Having a learning disability or a learning difficulty does not exclude the possibility that somebody may have a high IQ. Being twice exceptional can be difficult to diagnose, mainly because of what is called masking. There are three common types of masking. The first type is when a person is identified as having a disability, but their giftedness is overlooked. So in this case, the disability is masking the giftedness. In the second case, the opposite happens, where the giftedness masks the disability. So somebody is identified with having a high IQ, but their disability is being masked or is being overlooked, and so they're not being catered for in that way. And that happens quite a lot, as you can imagine. People who are of a high intelligence are able to manage situations or mask their other needs in ways that other people may not be able to, or it's not as obvious. And the third way of masking is where the disability and the giftedness mask each other. And in this way, the person is misassessed as just being developing normally, and their giftedness is being overlooked, as well as their learning difficulty. In any of these cases, the person's learning needs, their social emotional needs are not being met. If you think there's a chance that your child might be twice exceptional, whether they have a learning difficulty that is covering their high IQ or their high potential, or if you feel their high potential is masking their disability, or both, they're masking each other, you could have a look at school reports, see if there are mismatched, and look at the patterns, see if there are trends, see if there are areas of strengths and weakness that can be further investigated. The school will have some data to provide to you on that. You can look at any social emotional concerns that you may have. How are they socially, emotionally? How do they handle situations with peers or with siblings, at home or at school, in the classroom, on the playground? All of that is really important information that needs to be considered. You could also look at subject-specific giftedness. This is an area that's often overlooked. A student who could be have high potential in a specific subject area, and often, especially in creative areas such as musical ability or artistic ability, is a lot of the time overlooked as well, or not identified early enough. All of these areas can be evaluated to ensure your child has positive adjustment, they're being catered for, and to ensure that they have long-term success now and into their future. But you take all of this information to a registered psychologist who works with children, and you can further investigate with standardized tests, and the psychologist will be able to guide you in what assessments are required and what support is recommended.